The lie of surrender of 93,000 soldiers, December 16, 1971, was a dark day. When the Pak army became a sandwich between Mukti Bahini and Indian forces, which were 50 times larger than itself, after which 93,000 Pak army surrendered, along with Indian and Bengali media, some Pakistanis also started writing the number of 93,000. And no one even tried to check the record to see how many troops actually surrendered. The surrender of 93,000 soldiers was repeated most by anti-Pak army politicians and Pakistani Reds in Pakistan. Surprisingly, it was not challenged. While more than 45,000 soldiers or paramilitary forces cannot be proven in any way, it is not possible that there were 93,000 troops there. So how many troops did we have in Bangladesh? The fact that is not mentioned is that there was only one crop of Pakistan army in Bangladesh, which consisted of 3 divisions. When the Pakistan Army launched Operation Searchlight on 25 March 1971, the number of Pakistan Army deployed in Bangladesh was only 27,000. A few thousand more troops were sent, but by a long air route, because India had closed its airspace to Pakistan by conspiring to hijack the Ganga plain. According to the record, by the end of November 1971, the number of Pakistani security forces had reached 45,000, of which 34,000 were army, while the remaining 11,000 were rangers, scouts, militia, and civilian police, etc. Out of this 34,000 army, 23,000 were infantry. This one crop of Pakistan army was facing a war with 5 crops of Indian army. 3 crops of Indian army were attacking from the west and 2 crops from the northwest and northeast. 10 squadrons of the Indian Air Force were also participating in the firefight against the few thousand-strong Pakistani army, including Sikhs and MiG-21s. Apart from the Air Force, the Indian Army was also supported by 180,000 to 250,000 trained Mukti Bahini guerrillas from inside Bangladesh. The Mukti Bahini was attacking the rear of the Pakistani army. More than half of the army was in Dhaka. The remaining 15 or 20,000 troops were scattered in small groups all over Bengal, fighting in extremely unfavorable conditions. At that time, Indian Army Chief Sam Manik Shah had said that we had a 50-to-1 advantage over the Pakistani army, when the total Pakistani army was 34,000 to 45,000. Why is this lie of 93,000 being repeated? Till date, no one has been able to prove the number of more than 45,000. But the propaganda was so big and powerful that even today, the number is stated as 93,000. According to General Niazi, he had a total army of 34,000. If we include paramilitary forces and police, it is 45,000. And if we include factory workers, nurses, doctors, and sweepers, it is 55,000. Air Marshal Rahim Khan and Air Marshal Zulfikar Ali Khan also wrote that there was an army of 34,000 in Bangladesh. The rest is all Indian propaganda. Charlie Wilson, author of Charlie Wilson Wars, writes that in 1971, it was in no way possible for the Pakistani army of 35,000 to fight against the 200,000 Indian army and more than 100,000 Indian-trained guerrillas. Any army in the world would have had no option but to surrender. Another congressman, Stephen Sollers, commented in June 1989 that the Pakistani nation should not be made to feel weak because of 1971. It was in no way possible for a 40,000-strong army to continue to fight the Indian army and India's trained guerrilla army, which were many times larger than itself, in conditions when the local population had also become its enemy. K.C. Paint, former Indian defense minister, estimated the number of Pakistani troops who surrendered in 1994 at 40,000. Similarly, Indian author Sharmila Bose, who researched the fall of Dhaka, has also called the number of 93,000 a white lie and said that there were a total of 34,000 Pakistani troops there. The surrender of the 93,000 army was used by India and the Bengalis for propaganda purposes to portray the Pakistani army as oppressors and the Mukti Bahini as oppressed. But in Pakistan, Bhutto and anti-Pakistan elements always exaggerated this number to demoralize the Pakistani army and for their own political purposes, and to deceive the nation. The truth has never been told. Thousands of Pakistani soldiers were martyred in this war in Bangladesh. According to some reports, 8,000 to 9,000. In just one village, a brigadier fought with his 300 comrades until all of them were martyred. A large number escaped from Bengal through various routes after the surrender. If all of them are taken out, the number of the army remains at 25,000. The truth is that the number of Pakistani soldiers who surrendered on December 16, 1971, was less than 34,000.